Welcome to the 1923 Book Club. Every Monday I will speed read a book, memorize the key points, and tell you what I learned. Every book is written before 1923. In New York, wanting to read a book today, and I'm really wanting to read some fiction. And I'll tell you about it here in a second. Okay, so if you're looking for a good book that it's easy to read, it was written by a guy named Peter Kyne in 1921. So in 1921, World War I had just ended, which is important because one of the key figures in this story is a World War I veteran. So Peter Kyne writes this book in 1921. It's called The Go-Getter. If you want to get a free copy of the book, click the link down below, join our 1923 book club. But here it is, The Go-Getter. It's about this guy named William Peck. It starts off where this company, it's called the Pacific West Coast Lumber and Supply Company, and it's owned by this old guy named Cappy Ricks, passed his business down to this guy named Mr. Skinner, and then his son-in-law, Matt Peasley. Well, he has Peasley and he has Skinner in his office at the start of the book, and he's like, look, our company's, sales are down, things are going terrible, terrible problems in the company, terrible sales, terrible everything. So they're looking for a solution, and they finally come up with a solution. They're like, okay, look, Andrews is one of the best guys in our company. Let's send Andrews over to take over the Shanghai office, because the guy who's currently in charge of the Shanghai office, he only talks to us every couple weeks. Sales are down, and when he does talk to us, he's asking us problems that he should be solving himself. He's not a take charge kind of guy. So they're like, let's send Andrews over there to take over the Shanghai office. And then this guy shows up, and his name is Bill Peck, William Peck, and he's got like half of an arm. He was a soldier in the military in World War I, and he got his arm blown up. And he's like, hey, I'm here for my job. And Cappy Ricks is like, what do you mean you're here for your job? You sound like a man who's not going to be rejected. He's like, I'm not going to be rejected. I'm a salesman. I know how to sell. I'm here for my job. And Cappy Ricks is impressed. He's like, look, I like soldiers. I like the military. I served in the military myself. And you are a go-getter, but I really am not the guy who makes the decision. You need to talk to Mr. Skinner. He's like, look, I already talked to Mr. Skinner, and he said no. And then he says, well, then why are you here talking to me? He's like, because I'm going to go over their heads, and I want to get this job. And Cappy Ricks is impressed with that, and he's like, wow, I like that attitude. All right, we're going to find a job for you. So he calls Mr. Skinner in. He's like, hire this guy. They hire him, and then he goes off and he starts breaking sales record after sales record. They send him on a business trip around the United States, and he's signing all these deals, bringing in all this money, and Cappy Ricks is so impressed, and Skinner's kind of reluctantly impressed. He's like, man, I was wrong about this guy. So then Cappy Ricks has an idea. He's just sent this guy to run our Shanghai office. And then they devise a plan, because he hasn't been tested, so they don't know if he's really good. So they come up with this test, this blue vase. And they're like, look, if he can get us this blue vase, he will be the man for the job that we'll send to Shanghai. So they call Peck into their office, and they're like, okay, Peck, look, we've got this blue vase. He said, look, there's a wedding coming up for this lady, and she's a really impressive lady, and I want to get her a nice gift, and she wants this vase. She already has one, but if she could have the matching set, I know it'd make her really happy. So I want you to go get me this vase. And this vase was really more of a test for Mr. Peck. So they send Bill Peck off to get this vase, and they're both laughing. Skinner and Cappy Ricks are laughing, and you're the reader, me, I'm wondering why they're laughing, what the deal is. So Bill Peck goes looking for this vase, and they just set up obstacle after obstacle for this guy. And I'm not going to run through the obstacles they set up for this guy, and normally I would. Normally I detail exactly what I read in the book, but I think a work of fiction, I don't know. I think a work of fiction you need to read yourself and see the obstacles they set up for this guy. I mean, it's pretty hilarious. The guy, they just kept setting obstacle after obstacle after obstacle and getting this vase. And he kept getting creative and thinking of ways to go around them. And the story was just about being a go-getter, about being productive. And again, I'm not giving you all the details because I think you should read this for yourself. So click the link down below, join our 1923 book club, and then download a copy of this book for yourself and read it. Seriously, you could read it in an hour and a half. I mean, even if you don't speed read it like I did. But it's just all about being a go-getter and overcoming obstacles, and it really makes you think, how many times in your business or your life do you encounter something and then with the first sign of resistance you give up, or the first sign of resistance you quit, or the first sign of resistance you call somebody for help, or the first sign of resistance you just say, oh, I can't do this isn't for me. And this guy, Bill Peck, he just had the attitude, and he kind of reveals the attitude at the end of it can be done, and that's like his motto, it can be done. And at the end of the book, Mr. Cappy Ricks is like, hey, you want to go golfing? And remember, the guy's got one arm. He goes, yeah, let's go. He goes, have you ever golfed one arm? He goes, no, I haven't, but it can be done. And that was just his attitude, and that is the message of the book. It can be done. Overcome obstacles. At the first sign of every obstacle, don't just give up. Go, 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 overcome, go around, be creative. But you have to read the book. You have to see the obstacles that Bill Peck overcame. So make sure you get the book. Join our 1923 book club. If you don't know what the 1923 book club is I read one book a day, and I speed read it, and then I memorize the key points, and then I tell you what I learned. What I learned from this book is just to be a go-getter. Don't give up. Overcome obstacles. When something's put in your way, go around it, be creative, and it can be done. That is the moral of this book. So if you like that moral, if you agree with that, it can be done. If you are a go-getter, if you're a go-getter, give me a thumbs up. Comment below tell me something that makes you a go-getter, something you've overcame that makes you a go-getter. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.